Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala.
All right, 18 minutes after 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Just the other day, gosh, when was this story? I feel like it was earlier in the week. It was a story of a piece of artwork that was owned by I think a former security guard or a corrections officer at a jail, and he bought a painting from one of the prisoners, and the prisoner's name was Peter Doige, Doige, something like that. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so it turns out that there was another Peter Doige without D-O-I-G, without the E at the end, right? Uh-huh. And he was a famous painter. And long story short, the corrections officer, I think mistakenly, I don't think he was trying to pull the wool over, but you never know. But he mistakenly was thinking it was this famous painter's Peter Doige. Uh-huh. The painting is nice, okay? But, the value of a painting is weird. So a judge decided that this was not done by the famous Peter Doige, and that there was actually another Peter Doige, which there was. Mm-hmm. And the interesting caveat to this story is that the actual artist, Peter Doige, without the E, is still alive. And he was able to testify that, no, that is not my painting.
Uh-huh.
Gosh, wow. I mean, that made it easy for the judge, didn't it?
I think so.
We have on the phone a lady we've been wanting to talk to for a little while now. Her book is called Peregrine Island. It's a novel. You're going to love the novel. Mm-hmm. Are you from Long Island? You're going to love it even more. I just like Peregrine. Diane Saxton was a journalist for Vanity Fair, UK, Holiday Magazine, Greenwich Review, and covered everything from torture victims to psychics, animal rights activists, exotic travel. I'd love to talk to her about that. And movie producers. She's an historian, a researcher, and her book is called Peregrine Island, and it does have to do with a piece of artwork that is just worth a lot of money. Diane, good morning. How are you?
Morning. How are you?
I'm all right. Where are you? Where are you calling from?
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
The Berkshires. I don't know if you know that.
Not really, no. But I'm on the other. I was from across the water. That's where I used to live, across the water, the other side of Long Island Sound.
Where?
In Long Island.
Long Island.
Yeah, in Merrick.
Oh.
Do you know the island at all?
Oh. Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
A little. Right.
So
anyway.
So how long was this story circling in your head before you decided to write it?
Not that long, I don't think. It was kind of organic. It just came to me when I loved a painting, a specific painting.
Uh-huh.
It's actually on my website, if you see the website.
What is your website?
It's DianeBSaxton.com.
Okay, I'm going to go right now. Go ahead.
Anyway, so I saw this painting and I kept staring at it, and I thought, has it ever occurred to you why a painter or an artist paints a painting? I mean, why he chooses the subject or she chooses a subject and goes with it?
I have no idea.
And what's behind it?
No.
Yeah, it is fascinating.
And that's really why what started me on this journey.
Well, I've actually wondered why writers write. And so maybe it's along the same kind of thought. And I don't mean today. Like in today's world, well, you might write to make a profit, Mm-hmm. But like in old time, like when people have old manuscripts, did Shakespeare make a lot of money from his writing?
Yeah, right.
I don't know. Did he?
Yeah, I think so. I think he and Dickens did too. Charles Dickens, I know, did.
So does it apply to artists too? I mean, are artists who's the guy who did all the lily pads?
Monet.
Okay,
Monet.
So he painted the same painting 100 million times, not the same painting, but similar paintings. And I figured, well, that must be because everybody loved it and there was no reproduction technology. I don't know. I mean, it was a way to make.
I don't know.
A way to make a living, right?
Yeah, but I think that there's an artist that paints little boys usually. I'm trying to think if he ever has girls. These are all the 19th century now I'm talking about. He paints little boys with animals, and they're always in a kitchen. and he paints these kinds of subjects over and over and over. And I kept wondering why, about not my paint, not the one I wrote about. But why does he always do that? I don't know. It's very strange.
I'm looking at the one you did now. I'm looking at your website. So what is that a painting of? It's kind of small. Is the guy putting on a hat looks like in a room? What is that?
Yeah, well, if you study it...
Oh, it's outdoors. It's outdoors.
It's a wharf, and these people are walking along the wharf. And I started really looking at who the people were, and where are they going? What are they doing? So that's what started me. And I love this painting in person.
Is this person? I mean, is this painting valuable?
He's not terribly. He's a very well-known artist, and this is a small watercolor. And he does a lot of life along the waterfront. So.
Usually sometimes paintings depict relationships, and in your book you've got family relationships that you explore, and you dedicated your book to your mom.
Right, I did, because I think that, I think they're important.
Are the relationships in the book similar to the one you had with your mom?
No, not at all.
No.
But the relationships in the book are, you don't think that they are what they really are. I think that families are, I don't want to say confusing, but they're magnified from other people. Don't you?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Do you is Peregrine Island an actual place?
No, it's fictional.
Oh, okay. But there's a meaning to the word, right?
Yes, there is.
Okay.
Do you want me to go into that?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's not like what's the island in New York where the immigrants went? Ellis Island. It's not like Ellis Island, right?
No. This I named it Peregrine Island because of the peregrine falcon.
Oh, okay.
Which are very solitary birds. And I wanted these people to be, not to have any kind of social interaction, so that I could personally really study them. I mean, have you read the book? I mean, it's very,
yes.
They start as one kind of person, and you really see that they're not. They're something else at the end.
Yeah, because you have different points of view in your book, and I like that. Especially in the narrative sense.
Right.
So are you there as a writer? Do you go? I mean, you're exploring people, and the way you talk about them is as if they're actual people. So it must be very real for you as the author, as these words are leaving your fingertips.
Oh yeah, definitely. They become real, almost too real.
And
after a while. I'm sorry, go ahead.
And it's not just the people that are the characters, but it's the place itself.
Yes, exactly. The sound.
Mm-hmm. And do you miss them? Do you miss the places? I mean, like when you're done with the book, is it like sad? Like you want to go back?
Yeah, when you talk about it, it kind of makes me sad. Funny, isn't it?
All right, so let's give the audience a little like a thumbnail sketch, like a movie trailer version. So there's something about the underneath the painting itself. There's some information, right?
Right. They're paintings and letters underneath it.
And that's the fascinating thing, because when people go to estate sales and things and they purchase paintings, they're always hoping that there's going to be something extra underneath.
That's true, and there's a whole story underneath and with the painting. And this, it's the mystery behind an heirloom painting, and then these strangers appear at their door with such an really unnatural interest in this painting. I'm sorry, I was just going to finish. And then detectives appear, but the family is not called in the detectives, so it's really a mystery about this heirloom painting.
Diane Saxton is our guest. Her website is where you'll find a lot of information, including you can look at the painting that we were starting to talk about, the inspiration for writing Peregrine Island. The website is dianebsaxton.com. And is that what you would recommend as a place to buy the book?
Well, you can buy it on Barnes & Noble, Amazon, or local bookstores. So,
will you be writing a sequel to this?
I'm working on a very large novel now that's historical,
Okay.
And I'm actually writing another one. I'm not to this. I might eventually, but not right now.
What is your fascination with Melville? Because some of your references in there are about him.
Well, it's not only Melville. Well, that's obvious, I think, because of the water and the ocean.
he's one of them. Yeah.
But I do a lot. If you've noticed, there's a lot of mystical stuff and Shakespearean references. That I don't know if you noticed that.
Yes.
So, not everything is actually. I do have a lot of mystical kind of things in there as well.
Wow.
And I feel, with Shakespeare, I just was trying to really round the characters out by giving them names of characters in Shakespeare that were similar to them.
Yeah, they're very unusual.
Well,
right now.
I think we've discovered a new favorite author, Robin.
I know.
Diane, thank you for being on the air with us today, and definitely come back with any other books that you might have in the future. This book for the listeners is called Peregrine Island. I have a copy of the book, by the way. If you call me, I'll give you the copy that was sent to me. The rest of us have to go buy it. Go to Diane's website, dianebsaxton.com, Saxton. Thank you, Diane.
Well, thank you very much.
We'll take a little break. We'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. Some people waking up in shelters this morning after storms rip across parts of Indiana and Ohio. Number of injuries, about a dozen.
A lot of credit for the relatively low number of injuries is going around to the first responders, early warning systems, and the fact that people listen to them. The bad news is that conditions are right for more storms today.
Fox's Mike Tobin. The storm's pulling Indiana Governor Mike Pence off the campaign trail.
I've seen our first responders in action. I'm very confident that the work that's going on at this very hour, we can all be proud of.
His running mate Donald Trump is holding a Republican leadership roundtable today. Hillary Clinton campaigning in Reno, Nevada about her plan